Yeah, somebody's like sabotaged the trails. I've come across multiple trees or honeysuckle or whatever it is being bent down over the trail. So if you haven't seen it before, this frame's like a knockoff of a Schwinn straight bar frame, but it's aluminum. The fork is chromoly. So you got a steel wheel set on here. The rear hub was a coaster brake, and I removed the brakes and the brake shoes. These wheels were most recently seen on that park pre-build I did, which I swapped it out to make it multi-speed. Let's see, the tires are these Continental Cross Kings. It's of course single speed. Got a double up front, but I'm using the inner chain ring. Aluminum pedals. Got a Brooks B66 saddle. The caliper, side pole caliper brake on the rear. Cantilever brake on the front. Kind of BMX handlebars, I guess, with BMX grips. These are lychee brake levers and a walled basket. And I think that's it. I did ride it on the pre-swap group ride the other night. The gearing's been perfect for the trails, but I was spinning out, getting over here, and spinning out in combination with the sprung saddle. It's probably comical to see it. I just feel like I'm just bouncing up and down. So I don't know where I'm at or where I'm going with this video. So if I haven't already mentioned it, this is the bike I built up while I was cleaning out the garage in preparation for the what we call the garage ride the night before the swap meet. So since I have a double up front, I thought it might be fun to just kind of experiment and maybe put a front derailleur on here to give me 2 gears. So let's see what we can come up with. So these are all my front derailleurs. So I've never really messed with front derailleurs other than taking them off all my bikes. But so this will kind of be a first, I think. I think what's going to dictate which one we use is just whichever one fits the seat tube. Now, let's give some of these a try. Okay, I'm going to need to get this water bottle cage out of the way, and then we'll see what we can do with that later. Oh. Well, first one we tried, I think it's going to fit, so we'll just go with it. Okay, we're going to need to get a longer chain. And of course, I will have to come up with some kind of tensioner here, which may just be a rear derailleur. Okay, so now I'm just going through my rear derailleurs. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous to put a derailleur on there, but I just want to keep it quick and simple. I mean, I could try and come up with some other method of tensioning the chain, you know, or hack this somehow, but I think we'll just put this on there. Oh, shit. Man. Instead of digging through all my old used chains and trying to come up with the right size and everything, I'm just going to use a new one. Something I didn't even take into consideration. I mean, it did clamp right on the seat tube okay, but it doesn't come out far enough. And I don't think I can make up for that with these limit screws. Okay, so this derailleur is not going to work. It doesn't come out far enough, so I don't know. What does that mean? Okay, I think I got it figured out. I was off on the wrong track. It all had to do with the limit screws here, and I basically had it backwards as to how they worked. And then on the rear derailleur, to get it over far enough, I had to add a longer limit screw to what would be the low limit screw, I guess. Kept wanting to bring the chain back over this way because I didn't have enough adjustment. So a longer low limit screw corrected that. I'll need some sort of cable stop down here. We'll just have a friction shifter. Let me get this cabled up and then we'll check back in after that. So here's what I come up with. We got just a friction shifter. We got cable housing all the way down to here. I made a cable stop. Can you see a little L bracket there, and then put like a barrel adjuster in there, and then that goes right up into our derailleur. And then this bracket's being held on by these hose clamps that are also holding on the water bottle. So that's all a little sketchy probably, but now does it work? Okay, we're in the small chain ring. And there we are, we're up in the big chain ring. Well, seems to work. Of course, working in the stand versus working out in the field is two different things, so we'll have to take it for a test ride.
Good, you scared the shit out of me, sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry. Didn't even catch it.
That's fine. I didn't even see you there. I don't know if you can see that. My stem has come loose on me, and I think the only thing keeping my handlebars halfway straight are the basket braces. And I don't think I have the right size Allen key for this stem adapter. It's a real cheesy, cheap stem adapter, so I'm a little concerned. I'm just taking it easy, hoping something doesn't give out altogether. I hope I can get it fixed well enough that I can make it back home. Well, what's happened here is the bolt come loose and the wedge nut must have dropped out the bottom there. Kind of weird the way this works. This screws into the wedge nut, and then your top cap screws into this. As far as the shifting goes, that's working great. And the gearing's just right. I got a road gear to get me to the trails, and then an off-road gear once I'm here. One problem though is I lost the ability to backpedal. I think there's just too much friction in that coaster brake hub, or too much resistance there to allow it to backpedal. So that's a bummer. I mean, that's kind of the whole reason I disabled the brake on that coaster brake, is so I could freely backpedal. It's kind of important on trails and in traffic. So I don't think I'm going to put forth any effort though to try and remedy that. I'll just ride it like it is for a while till I get bored with it. Well, due to that stem issue, I'm not going to take the risk and ride it home. So I've made the call of shame, and Nova's on her way to come pick me up. So got the stem issue fixed, and the bike's riding just fine now. So I think I'll just end this video here. As always, thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll just see you in the next video.